Like that. So go Android. Good morning, everyone. How you doing? This is Andre Jackson.
And this is Irene Nyemba.
We decided to start a podcast. We kind of been talking about it for a while, and everybody wants to make sure everything's perfect in place. And we figured, you know what? We're just going to
just do it.
Yep, exactly.
Just
yep,
do it.
we're just going to just do it.
So, I'll start by introducing myself. Born and raised in Zimbabwe. Immigrated to the UK actually for a year, me and my family, and then came to the United States. I'll just say in the 90s. I'm not going to give you the exact date.
I know what year that is.
In
by
the
the way.
90s. Ended up in Chicago, of all places. Nurse by background. I'm a registered nurse, and I really enjoyed my nursing career. And in 95, I actually transitioned into IT, and I loved what I was doing until I met this gentleman here after he met my sister, and we got talking, and one thing led to another, and here we are. How many years now? 20 some years into what we do now. So yep, so that's a little bit about me.
Okay. By the way, we haven't known each other for 20 years yet.
It feels like 20 years.
Yeah, so, matter of fact, I remember when we got engaged was 12, 13, 14. See, that was, it wasn't planned, but it works out so well. So that means we met in August. So let me just start with story for me. How you doing? My name is Andre Jackson. Born and raised in a town called Maywood, western suburbs in Chicago, Illinois. I was born and raised there. Technically, I was born in Gottlieb Hospital in Melrose Park, went to Irving School, and went to Proviso East, 1984. There you go. So we was a live class. I probably won't get into that. But we definitely had a fun at Proviso East in Maywood. So my father, he always had some type of business going on. So I actually grew up in flea markets and craft shows. By the age of 6 years old, I like to tell people I've been in business because my father was always going to different flea markets, and we would travel a lot. Our longest flea market, maybe I need to get some water. So make a note, may have water next time, right? I grew up in flea markets and craft shows. My father's always been in some type of business. So the entrepreneurship in myself is actually, like I said, started to the age of 6. So, but what I did is because I loved puzzles and putting model cars together, I ended up working on cars for 20 years, mostly at Ford, the dealerships. So I've done that for many years. But like I said, me and my father, we had a business. Our biggest business was spice business. We had over 225 different types of seasonings, flavors, and spices. So that's the business I did most of my life. But then when I ended up working on cars, I ended up getting laid off. I want to say maybe when I was 40, 41, 42, ended up getting laid off and figured, you know what? Even though I love working on cars, okay, a lot of guys that was 60, 65 years old, their body was shot. So I decided to get into real estate, and I got my real estate license and did that for several years. That started 2005, but what happened 2008. So I should have kept my real estate license, but I didn't when I moved to California. So I moved there for a little bit. A good friend of mine, Jeff Brown. I probably make these stories shorter, right? It's too long. It's too long. Okay. So we're just trying to figure out everybody. But long story short, I ended up moving to California, getting started with PHP Agency in the life insurance industry. And when I met Jackie, I met my wife in 2014. In August 2014, we got engaged. December 13th, 2014, we got officially married in August the 30th, 2015. And that's when I met my sister-in-law, my business partner. And from there, we ended up, so she joined me in business with PHP Agency. And
So I really didn't join in business. I just wanted to support him because I had a full-time job, and I really loved what I was doing until February of 2017. So we have something in common. I also got laid off after almost 10 years, going on to 11 with a company. And that's when I asked myself, I said, if they can, people always say there's job security in healthcare, but that's not true. Yeah, you may be loyal to your employer, but is your employer loyal to you? So when this happened, I had to reevaluate who I was. Fortunately, I'd gotten my license, and I wasn't really using it. And then after that happened, I started really seriously thinking about my. I did get another job, by the way, within a couple of weeks, but I wanted to have an exit plan where I would control my life, control who I wanted to be, and one thing led to another. And what drives us both, we have something in common. It's faith, our faith, family, finance, and friendship. We really enjoy just hosting people, having fun along the way, and just having a good time. So me and my sister and my husband, we came to Raleigh from Chicago for a wedding. We fell in love with the area, and we went back home. We said, and the other thing too, taxes in Illinois are so high. So when we came to the wedding, we met someone who lives on a 3-acre property, and they said they were paying like 2,000 or 3,000 in
a year.
Real estate taxes. And when we went home, we were welcomed by our taxes going up, and that's plus
right, I forgot about that.
the fact that our company PHP wanted someone to pioneer this territory. We said, let's pack our bags and go, and that's exactly what we did. So Andre can take it over from there, how the two of us ended up here first.
Yeah. So once we made that decision to move, actually, and it wasn't a hard decision, because later on I'm finding out that they really wanted to move to a warmer area, not as cold as Chicago. Even though, yes, I was born and raised in Chicago, I really don't miss the cold, but I do miss the people, and I definitely miss the food. The food here it's okay. Definitely not like Chicago. So when we moved out here, so first we came out here June, like the end of June in 2018.
Just the two of us.
Yep.
So 3 with your daughter Zoe.
So we did come to
we
I
wanted
forgot
to
about
pioneer
that.
the area. We had no idea where we were going. We knew we wanted to be in Charlotte. So I did my research, and this area of the university area kept popping up. I'm like, okay, let's go to the university area. And that's just how we are. And people will say, how do you just pack and go? That's what we do.
Why
you
not?
know what? You make a decision,
Yeah.
you just do it. You don't have to overthink things. So when we came here, we fell in love with the area, and we looked for a house. And one thing led to another. We found a beautiful home in the area.
In Mooresville,
Yep.
North Carolina. So we ended up there. And this was, even though we just made a decision to go, we also made a decision to go by faith. Now, well, let's make everything is perfect and everything before we knew, we just came out here. So when we found the place, somebody referred us to a realtor. We ended up in Mooresville. We opened up our first office in university areas, around 300 square feet.
Yep.
Then me and Irene, we moved out here mid-July. I want to say
July 12th, I believe it was.
July 12th. Well,
we drove.
Yes.
12 hours. We drove 2 cars.
2 cars. Yep. And we drove out here.
Drive.
And we found and within a week we just found the place. So we was open up August the 1st, 300 square foot office. That lasted for about 9 months because we was growing. And then, so go back. So me and Irene came out July. My wife, my daughter Zoe, and my mother-in-law came out in August,
Yep.
and her husband, my brother-in-law Dennis, came out in November, right?
Because we had to sell the house in Chicago, in Bolingbrook, and then we moved.
Yeah. So, and it was just us. So we all lived in one place.
Yeah,
I mean,
in a big house because we knew we would have family come over. We had 6 bedrooms, which we really didn't need. But when family came for Thanksgiving or for Christmas, we all were happy in that one big house, and it helped us save a lot of money and also learn the area because we didn't know. And guess what? For those who live in Charlotte, we lived through 77 construction, and
Yes.
we're driving to Charlotte. So at the end of our lease, we are like, no, we have to find a place that's closer to the office. So we moved to Huntersville. And
together, same
Yep.
house again.
Yep, we did it again. We stayed in that house for 2 years, and then after that, we all kind of just started now. Now we're comfortable with the area.
And we knew where we wanted to be at. We knew we made the decision we wanted to stay in Huntersville.
Yep, so we found a builder, we built our house, and then the Jacksons followed suit. So now we live like 2 minutes apart, but we live in the same neighborhood. But and life goes on, and on the business side, we have grown. We built the business from scratch. He became a broker first, then I became a broker, and we will talk more about that in our next episode. So we have a favor to ask. Guess what? We want a name for this podcast. So whoever gives us the best name, we have a surprise for you. So tell us what you think. Suggestion is always on Thursday, so anything that rhymes with Thursday would be perfect. So,
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Yes. So we're just figuring this out. We figured let's just go by faith, set up right. I didn't have any thoughts about anything, so we had an idea. Let's just do it on Thursday because that's when we both was free.
Yep.
And we didn't know where. So when we came to the office, and then Irene said, "Hey, why don't we do it in these seats?" Okay, I was thinking something else. Hey, why don't we set this up? Okay. So want to do it live? So we're not doing it live yet.
We will.
So we're going to record it, but eventually we're going to end up doing live. So does anybody have any questions just along the way? And again, most of these conversations is going to be about our faith, family, finances, and
friendship.
You know what I mean? And so, so is that it?
Yeah.
That it? Okay. All right. That's it.
So tune in. Same
time, same channel. Like, comment, and share. All right. All right, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Right, so let's see if I do this, will it start? I know it starts. No.
No.
Okay. All right then. Okay.